What's up guys, welcome back to Proxima Reviews. Here I have with me is a very exciting review and unboxing that I'm about to make. This is my first ever airsoft gun. This is a Glock G18. It's just called the G18 on Lazada, and it's a semi-metal version, and it's actually just a spring loaded one, so it's not automatic. You need to cock it every time you shoot it. So I'm very excited to open this. I've been a fan of airsoft ever since I've seen the sport on YouTube. And actually that's like just a month ago. Yeah, so ever since a month ago, I've been a big fan of airsoft. I've been dying to try it, but maybe not in the meantime. But this is one thing that I just wanted to try out. Having my own pellet gun that I don't have to buy too much stuff just to use. I don't get an automatic one, but it's okay. That's fine. First of all, reminders before I open this. Airsoft weapons, you still shouldn't consider them as toys. They are, yes, they are not real guns, but I suggest you just treat them as like real guns and be responsible whenever you're holding one or even when you're just trying one out. And have respect also for the players who are very disciplined when they use those weapons, because these can still hurt. They're non-lethal, they don't hurt a lot, but they still do because you need some range and some speed to fire the pellets to make them accurate. Therefore, personally, I don't consider these as toys. Just as in the sport fencing, you don't consider the sword or the fencing, not really sure what you call it, but the weapon they use, it's not a real sword, it's not really considered a deadly weapon, but you don't consider it as a toy. And the same thing with these things, with airsoft guns. They're not considered deadly weapons, but they're also not toys. So they require a certain amount of responsibility and discipline whenever you hold them, whenever you use them. And these are things that you have to learn first before you buy these or even go into airsoft games. I personally want to try to go and play airsoft. Amidst this pandemic, actually, I think it's one of the sports that could actually open and could actually grow, because it's pretty much a non-contact sport. Everybody wears masks and face gear because they don't want to get hurt in the face. Even if it won't do big injuries, you still don't want to get hit. Another one is that this is a long-range sport. And I've seen people use GoPros and stuff like their small cameras to film themselves and to film their targets and to film them playing. And it's very, very exciting actually. I know some YouTubers, Novrich, Kicking Mustang, and Silo Entertainment. Search them on YouTube. They're pretty good. They're pretty cool guys. And one thing I love about them is they are all snipers, and I love being a sniper, especially in games. So shout out to them. You guys are cool. You guys have spectacular content, and you made me want to try the game. So I'm very excited to open this, and alright, let's open it. Alright, let's open this. So this is a G18. It's a Glock Perfection. There we go. I think it doesn't have a box. Okay, this is what we get. We get a hamburger. No kidding. So the G18 is made by Glock. In real life, it's actually an automatic, fully automatic. There's also a G17 and a G19 already. So let's get this open. Let's spray this a bit first. There you go. You get some pellets with it. I really hope they could improve the packaging on this one. But if this is why it's just 450 pesos, then alright, I accept it. As long as it's not damaged, I'm good. But but straight off the bat, that's something they could improve. Just have a good box on this. Right, so let's open this. Okay, one thing to... I don't know a lot of things about how to be a responsible airsoft player yet, or how to handle something like a firearm, but there are some basics that everybody should know, and I think I can speak a little bit about those. First of all, always point it away from you, and if you can go the extra mile, point it at something that will catch whatever projectile is inside and that it will not ricochet back at you or at someone. Second is, or maybe this should even be your first, don't point it at someone else. When you're in the airsoft match, when the game starts, when the buzzer sounds, then you can point it at other people because they're also ready to take the shots that you will give them. But if it's not that point yet, just practice it. Never point it at other people and at yourself. So one of the best ways you can do this is just always point it at the ground, like that. For now, I'm gonna point it here because there's nobody else in the room, and there's a long way to go straight there. But a while ago, I kind of noticed that it was a little bit pointed towards me. That's why I immediately flipped it. You'll never know if something like this might suddenly go off. There might be a jam inside, and if that happens, you don't want it pointed at you or at anyone. So that is a basic reminder. Everybody should know that. Never point it at you. May it be even just a Nerf gun, don't point it at people if you're not gonna shoot them and they're not ready to take the shot that you will give. Alright, so let's open this. Wow. Yes, it does kind of look legit from this angle. Right, so never ever point it at yourself, and point it away from you, and also don't get your hand in front of the barrel. And also, if you're gonna hold it, try your best to not put your hands inside the trigger, because that's how it fires. Alright, so the best way is to just hold it here at the butt, at the stock, and point it at the ground or point it somewhere where it will not go off. Right, so straight out the bat, this is what we got. We got some pellets, just a few pellets, so I might have to buy my own, have to buy some more. But looking at it right now, it's pretty cool. It looks like a good replica, and here it says here made in China, because it's probably made in China. And so this should be a semi-metal version. There you go, some Chinese prints. It can also be called the Q.1 actually, yeah, because I don't know what the Q.1 is. I don't know if it's a Chinese version of a Glock, but it looks like a Glock, so I'm happy with it. And it's cheap, so yeah. Alright, let's open it. It's exciting. So this uses a spring mechanism. The more expensive one uses air, sometimes CO2, sometimes it's green gas. That's what you use to make these automatic, but because this is not automatic, it uses a spring. You have to cock it and pull this every time you use it. It's pretty cheap. There we go. Okay, very good. These are the pellets. There's some English on the manual, at least. Right, so let's keep this here. This will come in handy. Need that. Let's disinfect this again. Actually, like all the bullets. Okay. So right away, what I feel is this upper part, which should be metal on real Glocks, isn't metal. This is actually plastic. I thought it would be metal. I think the metal part is just the inside. So that's kind of a bummer for me, because I wanted this upper part to be metal. But then I guess that's what you get for the price range. Alright, it's pretty light considering it's all plastic, because it would be heavier if it were metal. But then this is what you get. And on real Glocks, there's a double firing mechanism here. The trigger is split into two. On this one, it's just a single one. Right. So you have this is the fire selector. For the real ones, it doesn't move here, it's just the decoration. Alright, there's nothing special about the target. Okay. So some other tips on how to be responsible with things like this, and probably you should also tell your children or your brothers, sisters, even if they have Nerf guns. One is the stuff that I said a while ago. If it's not time to shoot, don't point it at someone. Point it to the ground, don't point it at yourself. Just be used to doing that. Just have the discipline and the responsibility to do that. Another one is, I saw this in a YouTube video of some actors being taught how to use a weapon. Imagine that you have a 180-degree force field, like this. And the rule is, you never ever, when you start using the gun, you aim your airsoft or whatever firearm you have, you never ever make it go past that 180-degree force field, that imaginary force field. Always point it in front of you so that you know where it goes. Because if you accidentally point it behind you and it goes off and you don't know if it's gonna work or if it's gonna accidentally go off, you don't want any injuries. Or at least be afraid to show people that you're not disciplined with stuff like this, because they won't want to be around you if you're like that. So that's another good rule of thumb to always remember. 180 degrees, never point it behind that 180 degrees. Always point it in front of you where you know where the projectile will go. Always do that. Right? So this one, I can point it straight. Here you go. Right. So let's try to understand how to use this. I see now that there are some scratches on this. Probably it wasn't handled that well when it was shipped. But what do you expect from $10? I honestly don't expect too much. But this is just a trial anyway, so that's all I need from it to try it. Alright, so let's read the manual on this. Here's the manual. It's mostly in Chinese, but also has some English. So kudos to the manufacturer for actually putting some safety warnings and precautions on this manual. And that's very important for the people who are not going to be able to watch this video, so that they know some precautions to take and some stuff that could go wrong if they don't use their airsoft gun properly. So please do take time to read the manual when you buy stuff like these that are a little bit more complex to understand. And actually read the manual when you buy anything. It just takes a few minutes to actually read and understand it, so that nothing will go wrong when you finally use the product. It's very simple. And another, to the manufacturers, please also make manuals that are very easy to understand and to be grasped by your customers, so that they will easily understand it and they won't have a hard time trying to read. It's a two-way street. Both have to do their part. Alright, so let's read this. Okay, how to operate it. Alright, so to load the magazine, we have to first take out the magazine, which is, I think, press this button over here. There we go. It's pretty heavy. It's not loaded. Alright. Here it is. Here's your magazine. See that? Alright. So for now, it's teaching me to load the magazine, but I want to first practice, because I think it's more important to practice to clear out the airsoft gun first, to make sure there's no projectile in it. And you don't clear it by shooting it. You have to actually check if there's something inside the barrel. So I think how you open this is actually the safety, but I think it doesn't work on this. Oh, it does. Okay, it's on the other side. Right. So I think this is what you press. Right. There we go. That's how you pretty tight. Actually, it's actually very tight. Right. There you go, that's cocked. And yes, there is nothing inside. If you can see that. Look inside, yep. There's nothing inside that. There you go. It means it's free. I'm not sure if you pull the trigger. Let's try it. Let's just try it. If you pull the trigger, it should release the spring. Or maybe it's locked. There we go. So that's the safety. Rule number 3, always put your airsoft on safety. If you're not using it, put it on safety. As much as you can, avoid all accidents. They've put these things like the safety on these so that accidents will be avoided. Because if they didn't want to do that, why bother? Why bother to put something like that? Therefore, please use it. It just takes one click to put that on safety. So to load, let's try to load one of these. These are made of plastic. Here, you can see it. Oh, it's made of plastic. That does really well. Right. These I think are 6 millimeters. Okay. Let's try to load it. Let's load just one first. In there. There you go. Now it's inside. When you put it inside, see, this doesn't work. It's not automatic. For it to fire, you have to cock it first. It's a cheap model, right? Let's put that inside. Put this on safety, right? Can put that. So now, let's try to fire it. I'm gonna fire it at my pillow so that it doesn't ricochet back at anyone or at me. So let's pull this. Just give it a straight pull. Alright, so the BB's gone. That means it's already inside. Therefore, one shot of this should fire it. Right. Okay, I'm gonna try. I am going to stand clear and behind this table just for safety. Oh, alright. By the way, okay, let's try this out. Let's take this out first. Right. And when you're practicing to fire and there are people around you, always count down and inform everyone of what you're gonna do, that you're gonna fire. Alright? So firing, so safety is off. Right? So firing in 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's not cocked. Right, let's try it again. Good. At least you know everyone was on. Everyone went to find cover. Everyone was ready, and they knew what I was gonna do. Right. Not sure if that works. All right. Firing in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Yep, did fire. The BB, the pellet didn't break because it actually hit the pillow, but if it hits a person or a surface like the mask that the person will use, or if it hits a concrete object like stone, wood, there's a bigger chance that it's gonna break. So you actually need a lot of these if you're gonna play airsoft. Right, so let's try this again. Okay, again. Here we go. So firing in 3, 2, 1. Firing in 3, 2, 1. There. It's pretty straight, it's pretty accurate. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Alright, pretty good. Safety on. Let's check anything still in the barrel. Oh, it's empty. Another thing I wanted to say is when you cock this, don't just let go of this and let the this part just slide directly to the front, because in some airsofts and in some real firearms that are poorly made, the firearm might go off, especially if the pin is inside. This one, it might go off, so just put it down slowly always. The more you know your firearm, the more you know its limits. So knowledge is very important, and you should research on it, read the manual, and take precautions for the things that you don't understand about it. So there you go. So some comments on the product. It looks really nice. It looks like the real thing actually, and functions like the real thing. And it's pretty cool that the safety is in the right place. The magazine, the button to press to release the magazine is in the right place. This is the fire selector switch. On the real one, it doesn't work, but at least it's there. It looks real. And people can mistake this for a real weapon. That's another thing that you should be responsible about. You should inform people that it's not real, and you should inform people if you're gonna bring it out, so that they don't panic, and people, especially authorities, will not think that you're carrying an actual deadly weapon. As much as you can, just keep it at home. Don't bring it out of your house. If you're gonna go to an airsoft place, keep it in your bag. Go straight to the airsoft place. Don't bring it outside to the mall. Leave it in your car. Don't bring it with you where someone can suspect that you're actually gonna do something wrong, or that you actually have a real firearm with you. Just like if you're gonna bring a sword to a sword competition or to a fencing meet, you're just gonna use it for the sport. You don't need it outside of the sport. You don't need it when you're gonna go to the mall. You don't need it when you're gonna walk around the park. You just need it for the sport. Therefore, bring it to the stadium, bring it to the meet. Don't bring it or take it out anywhere else. Alright? Especially stuff like this. Look how nice it is. It looks very real. It's easy, very easy to mistake, and it's very easy for you to get into trouble if you have something like this. So you really have to be responsible and disciplined, and you have to be knowledgeable on how to use these things. In some countries, there are also gun laws and also airsoft laws, so you have to be knowledgeable about that. You have to know whether you need a license or you can just get one. But license or not, please act like you should be given a license when you have something like this, right? Okay, some comments. It said in the description it was semi-metal. Maybe it's my mistake to think that semi-metal means these parts should be metal, because look, it's still shining. It's really coated well. So I thought it would be metal, but then it's not. The insides are metal. This part, I'm not sure if it's actual metal, but it's painted in chrome, therefore it kind of looks metal, right? But it looks good. The handle actually feels nice. I think you can customize the more expensive versions of these, but for this is what you get. Some improvements. At least you have the Glock logo there, but in the real Glocks that are steel, the Glock logo is engraved here, and there are some words, and also the serial number here makes it look more real. So if you want a real product, you might want to get a more expensive one. But if you just want something to try out, or maybe use for cosplay, something like this would do the trick. It's really nice. It seems legit actually. And there's two sides to that coin. It looks legit, so it looks good as a decoration, but because it looks good as a decoration, it can be mistaken as real. So be responsible. Right. For the BBs, I feel like they could have given me a little bit more, but then probably I'm just gonna buy my own. And please don't use steel BBs. Steel BBs can penetrate the skin, so they're used for hunting. So don't think because they're steel they're more aerodynamic. Don't think because they're steel they're gonna play better and fly farther when you're doing it for airsoft. You might actually break someone's goggles with it, or even penetrate their skin or give them wounds with it. Please don't use steel BBs unless it's required, or unless you have the right calculations in order to use it. Steel BBs can sometimes be used for hunting, If you're gonna do that, I'm pretty sure you should by now know what you're doing if you're gonna use something like that for hunting. Okay? And I'm not sure if they actually fit in here, but maybe 6mm would. So just please be careful and do your research first before you do something like that. And so there we go. This is our Airsoft G18 spring loaded, not automatic. Have to cock it. It's pretty good buy for the price, 440 pesos. 450 actually. It looks real. It does its purpose, it does its job, it's very accurate. It's actually kind of strong, but not the strongest you can get. There are a lot of stronger ones than this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Airsoft is a very big sport and it's getting bigger and bigger. There are a lot of weapons, they all look real, and there's so much you can do, so much you can buy. They're very expensive for one, but if you have the money, I honestly think it's pretty cool. So if you know some stuff about it, please go down in the comments. If you have more tips for our viewers on how to use stuff like these, please do so. Please be kind to them. Please say the right things and don't teach them irresponsible stuff, because that's what this channel is about. We want to be responsible with our products. That's why we look at reviews, so that we get more knowledge and we can actually learn from people's experiences. Therefore, we share these in the right way. Thank you guys for watching. Please like this video and please subscribe to my channel for more of these. I want to do more reviews in the near future and I'm actually enjoying doing this. So thank you guys for all the support and for watching. Have a nice day.